Watson. I presume this is our new case study. Is this case going to be any good, or is it going to be like last time? Yes, like the woman with the husband who she murdered and was simply trying to edge off the blame from her by coming to the detectives, making it seem as if she were the innocent party. How simple-minded can one person get? Like, honestly, did she not expect me to solve it within the first hour of me meeting her? I mean, my goodness, the color of those nails, you could tell it was her from the moment I saw her. But anyways, is this case going to be similar to the previous one, or is it going to be worth my time? In all honesty, I'm bored, Watson. I'm really bored. You can't tell me that I can't shoot my own walls if I want to shoot my own walls. Why don't you take a seat? You never take a seat. It's very curious of you, Watson. It shows that you're weak. You don't want to sit down. You don't want to expose yourself. You don't want to relax. You want to be on guard at every moment. Maybe it could have been as your experience as a soldier. But it's my gun. You can't take my gun away from me, Watson, just because you don't want me to play with it. The client? The client's alright. It's not like am I bothering you? I'm not bothering the client. The client just said it. Watson, the client just said I'm not bothering them. Watson, the client insists I am not bothering them. You don't take my gun, my gun, Watson. Don't take my gun. But that's not fair, Watson. I do want my tea. I need my tea, actually. Fine. You can have my gun. In exchange for my tea. Thank you. Didn't poison it, did you? Does this tea smell poison to you? Or would you know? Don't know very much. I can tell you look daft from the eyes. Anyways, what is the problem that I can solve for you today? Right. Excellent. Watson, this tea tastes like piss. What do you use in this? Oh. Well then, it's alright then, it's alright. Anyways, I'm tired of listening to you. I want to hear the case study from the paperwork that Mr. Watson here, or Dr. Watson as he likes to call himself, even though his doctoring years are quite behind him, I would assume so. What his paperwork has to say on your study, you know, fact rather than your emotional squandering of my time. Do you happen to have the paperwork? Oh, so that's what that notebook was. I thought it was just another notebook for my scribblings, you know? A gift from you, but I assume not. I'm gonna put my tea away. Alright, let's read your case study. Page 195. My goodness, Watson. You hand numbered these pages. Good on you, Watson. Good on you. Okay, so this, I assume, is your case study, the one that you turned in wanting us to evaluate it and whatnot. Personal introduction, letter of introduction. I'm not going to be needing that. Thank you very much for it, though. It's going to make excellent bathroom paper for our dog, Boston. Doesn't it sound spectacular? The sound of not being able to work. It's amazing. Yes, I don't like working with boring, arbitrary information. I like having the hardcore facts or details, the minute details that everyone seems to overlook simply because they don't think it's important enough, when really the most important facets of any case are located within the minute details that everyone seems to overlook. It's quite tragic, isn't it? But simple-minded human beings such as yourself, so daft, so innocent, so dumbfounded at the very idea of complexities in life, always seem to overstep the very things that'll help them in their life. It's quite interesting, isn't it? I would like to think so. Anyways, to go on. This looks like emotional vomit. I'm going to simply... I'm sorry, did that hurt your feelings? Maybe you should learn to get rid of those. In a case study, feelings mean nothing. In fact, they get in the way of progress. So it's a good thing that you're hiring a detective that's quite unsympathetic with your movements of, what's it called? What's that word called? Empathy? I believe so, Watson. I don't know, I don't give much attention to what's it called? To information that doesn't help me with a case. If it doesn't help me with a case, what's the point of using my knowledge in accumulating such information? If that made sense, but obviously it didn't because you're too dumb. Let me just... More roughage for Boston, especially since he's probably going to eat the newspaper rather than actually use it for his relief. Dogs can be so stupid at times, but they're no different than most human beings, I find. It's quite tragic, really, but whatever. Anyways, this is the information that I wanted. Okay. Alright. I do believe I'm going to be able to help you in your case today. This does look quite interesting. I would thank you for this case if it wasn't for the fact that you have to thank me for helping you out in the first place. Now tell me, can you hear this? Now how about this? Interesting. Can you hear this? I know, Watson, it's not making a sound. I wanted to see if the patient would actually, or rather, not the patient, because that would be your responsibility. The case study, the client can hear it, or will actually fool themselves into hearing it, considering how the brain can work such complexities at times, such phenomenon. Because according to this, that could be the case, that you actually tricked yourself into thinking something. However, I just wanted to test whether or not you're more susceptible to those psychological phenomenons rather than phenomena or phenomenons than most. I'm going to be taking your case though, regardless, because if this deals with some sort of supernatural or some scientific anomalies, it's going to be quite interesting debunking those myths. So, you said this took place in a forest? Baskerville. Alright. Well, it's going to be a pleasure doing business with you. Watson, please take the client away. I have no time to engage in any sensibilities with them. I want to focus my energies on this case and this case alone. You'll be hearing from us from time to time, and by us I do mean Watson. He is my personal assistant in some manners. Yes, you are Watson, and you're going to be hearing from him to keep you updated upon the progress of this case. If you don't, deal with it, because that's not my problem, okay? Bye-bye. Steal your mind and keep it open, keep the perspective of stars that you see in the night. Don't go out there, you're going to be wishing upon a star. Let's pretend just like your dreams. About the supernatural. Don't rely on what you see of the universe. Count as fact. What you see might just be an illusion, might just be a toy, a trick. The universe could say are playing on you. Keep in mind how something that's tiny for You look gorgeous. Now, Holmes, I want you to be particularly well behaved for this examination because your experimental methods over solving cases landed you with some poisoning. Now, it wasn't substantial, otherwise you wouldn't be awake right now, but it was quite enough to give you a good knock in the head, if toxins could give you physical knocks in the head. But anyways, please behave yourself right now, Holmes, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get a good scope of how well you are maintaining your vitals or your consciousness, okay? Okay, right now I'm going to be testing the dilation of your pupils, so please, I'm going to be flashing a light around and you're going to have to follow it with your eyes, Holmes. Later on I'll conduct a similar test that's going to vary in rules. Please don't put up a fuss with the variation in rules. Just do as I ask because I am a professional when it comes to this field. Not you. You're a professional in the detective field. I'm a professional in the doctorate fields. Let's keep that in mind as I try and see how well your health is maintaining, alright? Excellent. Follow the light with your eyes, Holmes. Just with your eyes, not with your head. And don't scowl. This is for your own good. Perhaps if you were to apply some more concrete and constructive methods of deduction, like the officers in Scotland Yard, you wouldn't land yourself with so many risks to your health. But I understand that you're not humble enough to do so, and it sometimes is tried and true methods. Now, I'm going to be testing the dilation of your pupils. Just stay still, don't look at the light, look at my nose. Look straight at my nose and nothing else. If you don't want to look at my face, look at somewhere in the room. Just make sure it's looking directly straight backwards, alright, Holmes? Excellent. Now, don't mind me, simply look straight at something and I'm going to be flashing it back and forth in your eyes. Once, actually correction, about 5 times for each eye, alright? So 10 times. Excellent. Give me one moment. 3, 4, and 5. Not that big of a deal, see? Now for the other eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright. Now, just to see how well your neck movements are, I'm going to be moving it around. This time you can't follow it with your head. Alright, Holmes? It's going to be quite diverse in the... but just make sure you follow it. Excellent. Your head seems to be moving alright. Now stop moving your head and just move your eyes and follow the light. Excellent. Now move your head once more, Holmes. It's nice to see you agreeing with something, Mr. Holmes. Hilarious. Now, just your eyes again. Excellent. Well done, Mr. Holmes. Now I'm going to be testing your spatial reasoning. Follow my fingers just as you were following the light. Once you can't see my fingers in your peripheral vision, simply say you can't see my fingers anymore and we'll move on. Alright, Mr. Holmes? Great. Okay. Follow my fingers. Once you actually don't follow my fingers, look at my nose. Once my fingers leave your peripheral vision, tell me. Alright? Yes, I know, Mr. Holmes, the instructions were quite confusing in the beginning, but now you have clarification. Follow my fingers and don't question me so much. Alright, Mr. Holmes? Excellent. Now let's start all over. Look at my nose, and once my fingers escape your peripheral vision, then tell me in some creative way that you decide to tell me, alright? Now let's go. Great. Awesome. Okay. Good. 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 And good. Alright, now I'm going to be testing how well you can use your peripheral vision. So I'm going to be moving my fingers up and down, and you're going to have to tell me which finger I'm going to be twitching like this. Alright? Excellent. Now, I'm not going to be going like this so frantically. I'm going to simply move it, twitch it, you tell me, and that's how we will conduct this test. Mr. Holmes, what did I say in the beginning? I'm the professional in the medicine field and you're not. Don't question my methods. I haven't questioned your methods of tasting some foreign natural leaf. Alright, so just follow my fingers, or don't follow my fingers, look at my nose, and then whichever one twitches, tell me, alright? Right or left? Whether, depending on which right and left you want to determine is right and left, alright? Okay. Excellent. Good. 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 And good. Okay. You seem to be doing quite well despite your accident. There's really nothing else I can provide for you. You've been listening to me quite well, so I can't really determine or gauge your auditory skills because they haven't really left. The only thing I was quite concerned about is your consciousness and your range of visual needs or visual cognition. So right now you are quite well. You may continue on with the case, but just make sure you do so in an ethical and in a healthy manner. Alright? Alright. Now, you're free to go. Goodbye, Mr. Holmes.